Hi everyone. Happy Monday. Here we are again, another week, fresh start. We are going to do our week ahead reading for the week of September 5th. So if you're new, then welcome. Thank you for joining us. How we do this is I just pull 3 cards and I read into the energy of each card. And before I pull them, you're just meant to sort of just feel into what message is meant for you this week, whether it's going to be card number 1, 2, or 3. And the energy or the message that you receive should just give you some insight on what to expect for your week ahead. So I'm pulling from the Shaman's Dream Oracle deck by Colette Baron Reid. I don't know if you can see that. My camera's being funny. And before we get started, so Ali and I are very excited to get back to teaching our courses for the fall. So we have our Soul Star Intuitive course starting next week, but we do have an orientation call tomorrow on Tuesday. So registration is closing pretty quick. If you miss the orientation call, that's okay. You can still jump in. But we are closing registration this week and class starts next week. So if you've kind of been on the fence and you're thinking about it, just ask Spirit for a sign if you're meant to take it. If you're feeling called, like you're feeling like you want to take it, but maybe you're talking yourself out of it, or you're just like super nervous about it. Usually when you're super nervous and like excited about something, it means it's because it's like going to transform your life. So it's a good energy to be in, as scary as it is. But if you're ready to take that leap, we are just excited to hold space for anybody who is ready for that. We also have our Akashic Records course starting. So we have Soul Star Intuitive on Tuesdays and Akashic Records on Wednesdays. If you're interested in how these all look, just go to our website, soulstarenergycollective.com. There's a link in our bio, and you can read a little bit about it. If you're on the fence, because you have some questions, please reach out and we'll set up a call, or we can chat through DM, whatever you're comfortable with. And registration is closing for both this week, and we have orientation calls this week for our students. So we're very excited to be back. Now, and also the podcast is back. So if you didn't know, we do have a podcast where we share very transparently. We have a lot of fun, all about just kind of like our journeys and things that we're learning along the way, our perspectives. Of course, as we progress and we move through and we ascend and learn more and more, our perspectives will change and we'll learn more and more. But we do have some pretty fun guests coming on this year. And we're moving into our second year doing this podcast. And if you're interested in laughing along with us, it is called Behind the Emerald Veil, and you can find it on Spotify and on Apple. All right. So if you just want to take a minute to feel into whether card number 1, 2, or 3 is meant for you this week, then we'll get started. Okay, so we'll start with card number 1. Calling card number 1, what message do you have for the listeners this week? Okay, it's called Empty Well, Time to Replenish. Okay. So the energy that I'm feeling with this card is that it's sort of like this vortex or this pull to like, to go within, to go down, to go deep, to get quiet, to listen. So it feels like you're being pulled this week. The energy is going to feel, you're going to feel pulled to go within, to stay quiet, to go deep. But there's so much light in that space. This is where you're going to hear, you're going to understand, you're going to receive clarity. In the stillness is where the clarity comes, and there's so much light in that stillness, and there's so much love. There's so much information for you in that stillness. So if you feel called to get still and to get quiet, to do meditations, or to just do something where your mind is kind of like able to zone out, whether that's running, whether that's chores, whether that's gardening, whatever that is for you, if you feel called to do that, then do that, because there is a lot of information waiting for you within that stillness, a lot of clarity, a lot of love, a lot of insight, direction. And it's almost like your ancestors and your spirit guides are waiting for you to get still and to get quiet so that they can share this wisdom with you, so they can share what they're trying to share with you, but you've been so distracted and things have been so loud and chaotic up here. They want you to go within so that you can receive the messages that they've been waiting to send you, or that they've been trying to send you, but you're not hearing because you're so busy and everything is so loud up here. So if you chose card 1 this week, try to find some time to get still and to get quiet, because there's something for you in that quietness and in that stillness that has been trying to get your attention, or some insight, some messages for you, some clarity, some direction. So that's good. Okay, so card 2. Okay, card 2. What messages? Oh, joyful muse, inspiration. Okay. So immediately for this energy, I feel like silly fun. So just like getting, this week you're being called to kind of like get out of that box of, just that box of confinement or conformment in this, are those even words? The box that you put yourself in, where you should be proper, the way that you think you should behave, in certain situations. Just, it feels like you're being asked to just like let loose and to just break free from this confinement, this energy that you've put yourself in to make yourself small, or to maybe not be seen, or to maybe not be heard, because you've just been super comfortable in this little space for so long, and they just want you to break free out of that energy and just be yourself, be the silliness, like be fun, be joyful, be loud, be exuberant, you know, play music really loud, dance around. Like I just see like letting loose, like this ridiculous fun, something that normally would make you feel embarrassed, to that if anybody ever saw you doing this, you would be embarrassed, or feel like almost shameful about it. But they want you to just break free from those constraints and just let loose and have fun. So whether that's through music, or through dance, or through creative artwork, or singing, whatever that is for you, just allow yourself to enjoy that energy and to be in that energy, and just let it loose this week. So I just see you breaking free from those confining energy of being proper, and the way everybody expects you to behave, or what you think people expect you to behave, and just like do that by being silly. I mean, you don't have to be silly forever, but it feels like the way that you're going to break free from that energy of putting yourself in the box is to be silly for a bit, and then letting loose, and then you'll feel a little bit more at ease being your true self. Okay. Okay, so card 3. What messages does card 3 have for the energy of this week? So card 3 is Netcaster. Can we see that? Preparations come to fruition. Okay, just give me a second on this one. So the energy of this card feels very calming and very grounding, and just like almost like you're intentionally going to move through this week creating laying foundations or preparing for things that you're calling in the future, but you do it in such this beautiful energy of like calmness and just like this deep knowing that that is what you're doing. So just be aware and acknowledge that great wisdom and power that you hold within your heart and within your gut, because it feels like this energy is pulling you forward this week in this deep grounded energy of knowing that that's what you're doing. So you're setting the path, you're preparing, you're maybe planting seeds or creating a foundation. It just feels like this week is kind of like a pivotal week for you in the sense of like what is going to come for you in the future. You're starting that process this week, and whether you know what here, you definitely know it in your energy that that's what you're doing. So you're moving through this week very intentionally, very calmly, so much power and like this ancient deep wisdom. That what you're doing, what you're starting this week is going to pay off for you in the future like tenfold. So it's this beautiful energy. Oh, the energy is just so calm and like grounding and powerful because it's soul work that you're doing this week. Soul work is what I hear. And also they're just also saying that it's like you're capturing opportunities that you were calling in as well. So not only are you starting the process and laying the foundation of what you're calling in, you're also starting to acknowledge that you are capturing the things that you have been calling in. So things might come up in your awareness this week where you're like, oh, I've been asking for that, or I was putting the work in and now it's starting to pay off. So it's almost like this water wheel of energy where you're receiving and then you're outputting to call in more. It's like this beautiful energy of receiving and then calling in. It's just a very powerful, calm, grounded, masterful, ancient, and I don't know, just this beautiful energy of just this deep soul work that you're doing. So well done. That's a good energy to be in. Yeah, that is all we have for you this week. So again, we have Soulstar Intuitive, we have Akashic Records, we have the podcast, we have lots going on. If you have any questions, please reach out. We'd love to know what card you chose and if it resonated, and we will see you next week.